there's absolutely nothing wrong with the discipline of enduro. And this is kind of rogue, but the best thing the enduro can do is get away from 3-lettered organisations. Use that as a soundbite. Just retirement's it's a big word. Changing lanes is one way to put it. Keen to throw a few darts at the dartboard and see what hits. Anything that takes the heat off Pivot Factory racing is good. I might get crucified for saying this, but finale, some of the riding's no better than anywhere.
Ed Masters, welcome back to the Downtime Podcast, mate. It's been a little while. We were sort of on an annual catch-up thing, and I don't think we've done it for maybe a couple of years. But how's things?
Yeah, I'm trying to think when we last did it. Was it Fort William?
Yeah, it would have been. Which was 23?
I think it was 24.
24, okay. Yeah. So we're 2 years.
Things are good. I don't know if people know, but we're in Maydena for Hardline. Ride Maydena. Shout out to Frenchie for putting on the studio. Things are good. Obviously I'm here doing some media stuff, but any opportunity to ride or just be a part of Hardline is something that I wouldn't turn down. It's the whole event, it's like a week-long thing. It's not just a race. It's like the camaraderie amongst the riders, the media.
It's different, eh? Really different.
You said, having an athlete pass, even though I'm not an athlete this week, it's pretty awesome. You get treated really well. And, so being in Queenstown, I was managed to jump on as Brooks +1.
Nice.
Shout out to the Bulldog. And, come along and catch up with some friends and hopefully provide some entertaining content.
Happy days. Does that mean you got a spanner on his bike, though, if you're his +1?
I don't know if he'll let me.
Is he particular?
I didn't even bring a multi-tool. I wouldn't say he's the most particular, but he's probably particular about who spanners on his bike.
Yeah, fair.
And I wouldn't say that I'm high on the list of people's go-to mechanic guy.
If you start throwing Allen keys at it, he might not be keen.
I'm capable, but
Fair.
How are you?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm on the other side of the planet. I'm a bit spaced out still. I'm still working out the time zones.
It's a bloody long way.
Turns out everything here wants to kill you, but other than that, it's a really good place. Yeah, and fair, it was Tourism Tasmania that got me over it, which is super cool. So thanks to them for helping out with the flights and making it possible, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. So
little plug here for Tourism Tasmania. Tasmania is an awesome place. So if you haven't been here, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's not. I feel like it's more like New Zealand than it is Australia.
Yeah.
And I love, from coming here when we did the EWSs, kind of fell in love with Tassie.
I can understand why. I've only seen this little pocket of it, but it's pretty special. The people are amazing.
Yeah.
And the riding here is, next level. There's nearly 100 trails on this hill, and they feel
it's crazy.
And they're still going. How's Derby compare?
Different in the sense, I'd say this. If Maydena's gravity and Derby's trail,
okay,
that'd be a good easy way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a lot more pedaling orientated, whereas this is a bit more descending, shuttles, gravity fed. But it's just cool to see how mountain biking has transformed these two small towns, especially Derby. Derby would have been nothing, and then World Trail went in there and built some trails, and it's just created tourism and business. Now there's Airbnbs and cafes, microbreweries, stuff like that. So
crazy.
It's pretty cool to see how just building some mountain bike tracks and letting people come and ride them has completely changed the landscape for communities.
Yeah, definitely. And it brings money in, right?
It brings money in, brings people. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the vibe they've created here is insane. It's such a small town, but everyone just frosts for the ride in.
Yeah.
They built a brilliant hub here at the centre. It's pretty,
It would have been pretty funny, the reactions from the locals when word gets out that there's, half of them probably wouldn't even know what a mountain bike is. And I'm sure there's people who push back against it, but because we're out here, Maydena's kind of in the sticks. And I'm sure there's people who come out here to get away from people. But it's pretty awesome part of the world.
Yeah, very cool. Have you ridden anywhere else on the island?
Not really, but like when we came here and did the EWS, we rented a camper van and just kind of cruised around.
Yeah.
Went down up the coast and did some surfing and stuff. It was it was really cool. And I'd like to come back. Me and Jack were just talking about it. It was like, so if anyone out there has a camper van company and would like, we would be pretty keen on
happy to
hitting the road and doing some biking, surfing, good times.
Yes.
So slide into the DMs if you've got something.
Excellent. There you go. Job done. We've ticked that one off the list.
Yeah.
Let's talk about changes for you. Like I said the word retirement when you arrived and you were like, changing lanes.
Yeah, well, just retirement's like, it's a big word.
It's got
like,
a negative feel to it, hasn't it? I think,
it definitely does, because I'll never retire from racing or riding. It's like what I did was decided to draw a line in the sand, and I retired from following a series.
Yeah.
And so still going to be traveling, racing, but a little bit more flexibility. So I was actually talking to Elliot just before, and I said, changing lanes is one way to put it, but I'm like, it means I can indicate I can change lanes without indicating. Which is something I do on the motorway anyway. I'm a shit driver. But so I can just change lanes and don't have to just spend the whole time in the fast lane.
Yeah, you're not committed to that series, so you can kind of go as and when you want. Was it a hard decision for you to make?
No, I think like subconsciously I made it probably a year ago.
Okay.
And then honestly, like without being like a bit of a downer, one of the big things for me was that the EDRs or the enduro side of things didn't really like listen to the riders and add any new venues.
Okay.
And for me, that was kind of like the nail in the coffin for like, maybe it's time for me to move on.
Yeah. Okay.
From just like following that series. And I think with, me, Matt, Jesse, Jack, all starting to like, it does make it look a lot more dire than it actually is.
Yeah,
so I'm actually going to go and like back or like try and spin it in a positive, because we've all had really long careers, and the time was right to step away.
Yeah.
It's just bad timing that it looks.
Yeah. It looks like
like while the sport is in kind of like disarray, or I don't know what the word is, but
turbulent times.
Yeah, turbulent. Yeah. And it sucks, and it's kind of like hard because us pulling back only increases that turbulence.
Yeah. But you can't race for the sake of keeping the series alive. Like you've got to be there because you want to be there, right? It's a huge commitment.
Yeah. And for me, the biggest thing is like I want a bit more flexibility, which lets me spend a bit more time at home. And, I don't think that's like, I've spent the last 12 or 13 years probably doing 6 months on the road. And, me and my girlfriend are building a house, and I want to be there to make sure that goes smoothly. And but also there's a lot of things I want to do still while I'm like actively riding.
Yeah.
That I probably otherwise wouldn't be able to do whilst chasing the same series that I've kind of been chasing for a long time.
Yeah.
So the question was, coming back to it, was it hard? No, it wasn't hard. It's just, it was easy because I feel like it was the right time.
Yeah.
And I never, no regret or anything. Nah, pretty stoked. And then like moving on from that, very fortunate, because I was very happy. I was like pretty content if, I know the industry's struggling. Things aren't as easy or as going as smooth as they might be for like athletes and stuff. So I was very happy to like, if this was the end of the road, then maybe this is time to like transition into the next phase of my life of like, and if you ask me right now what that would be, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I've always been like, everything works out for a reason, and if you put yourself out there, then things pop up, but you've kind of got to like be ready for them.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, sweet. If that's what is gonna, if this is the time, then this is the time. But as it transpired, opportunities and stuff came up with some of the companies that I've already been working with, namely like Pivot, Continental, Shimano, and that's enabled me to. I was paddling and I'm still catching the wave. Yeah.
When did you start having conversations then? When did you start talking to like brands like Pivot and stuff and saying, look, I'm thinking about stopping the Enduro World Cup series?
It wasn't so much stopping. It was just kind of like, hey, what do you think about this? This is kind of what I'm leaning towards. And that was the start of last year.
Okay.
Yeah. And then wasn't really talking to any of the other brands until to think like chemistry. I needed the nucleus, and then I needed to get the protons and stuff after that. So Pivot for me was like my nucleus, and if Pivot weren't on board, I wasn't going to go looking for another brand. I was pretty like, I don't know, it sounds cliche, but like I wasn't interested in like writing for another bike company.
Fair play. You've been with them a long time, right?
Yeah, and just like if they weren't on board, then I was happy to stay on as, just hell, if they were even just going to give me cheap frames, I still would have bought them and stayed riding Pivots because they'd been so good to me. And like, I feel like they really had like been a catalyst for like an upswing in my career. So, I was kind of fiercely loyal.
Yeah, it's good.
So if they weren't on board, then that would have been the turning right or left at the intersection. Going another way, which might have been just like going and getting a normal job, or doing something completely different.
Were they pretty easily convinced?
Pardon?
Were they pretty easily convinced?
They just kind of asked me what I wanted to do, and we kind of like already had like a vague idea of it, but and then I expressed some interest in like trying to get involved in some more of the back end stuff as well as the front end, because when you've been doing the racing stuff for a long time, like I feel like you've got a really unique perspective of how best to use like athletes, and I also have a unique perspective of like being able to talk to like my friends are the guys I need to get stuff out of. So ask me and I can go and get it out of them rather than like you emailing them and stuff. So just trying to like bridge the gap.
Like athlete liaison kind of thing.
Or just like I'm a yes man, so if you need something, just ask me and I'll go and try and sort it out as best as I can. So
nice.
Just trying to do that, and then so obviously Conti and Shimano are OEM brands that Pivot work with. And then so doing some content, and then obviously still doing some races. But just plugging a few holes here and there. But my main thing is I'm like, for this year at least, like just playing it live and like trying to. I'll be happy if I finish the year and I'm like, I can look back on it and be like, oh, at least I gave my perceived value to what I said I was going to do. So nice. We can probably catch up around this time next year and I'll tell you if it went all good.
Well, how did racing Enduro World Cup change for you over the years? Because like initially, I guess you're out there and you're trying to prove yourself and you're building yourself as an athlete in the sport and you're chasing those results, and you had some great results as well. And then I'm guessing latterly, like maybe the reason you're there changes a little bit. Like, do you feel like your why for racing that series changed over the years?
The why never changed because I always have kind of like stood behind like I wouldn't do it if I wasn't enjoying it. So the why for me has always been like based around like fun and enjoyment. And where I get that fun from may have changed is like when you are like competitive and at the top, the enjoyment comes from like doing well. And then in the past couple of years, just through, you know, like looking back, I think back to back injuries.
Yeah, you had a rough run, eh?
Yeah. Well, it's like on one side of it, it's rough, but like, you know, pretty rough. But I like don't really like to dwell on it because it's like, well, that's just like part of my racing story or whatever, you know. Like some people have it different, but yeah, at least like I look back on the whole thing as it was like mint. Yeah, there was some like rough times, but yeah.
But I guess the fun was a bit harder to find in the last year or two, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be.
I think it's just like you kind of walk a tightrope of, am I needing to be successful for it to be fun? Yeah. And then I kind of came to grips with that maybe these like compiling injuries and stuff meant that I was no longer like willing to go to like a place where I would be competitive or competitive up to the standard that I would like to be.
Yeah.
But then I think I was okay with that. And then as soon as you kind of like came to grips with that, then I was like, this is still really fun. Yeah. So like I was still out there like loving it, and like it's not like you're not pushing the limits, but it's just your limit now is maybe a little different.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So if the venues had become more interesting, you'd have still been doing it, you think? It wasn't like I've had enough of this. It's just like it's not fulfilling.
Because I still love it. It's like it's still such a good discipline. Like nothing's changed at the races. The only thing that's sorry, I burp. The only thing that's we're really struggling with now is like there is like a cloud of negativity around the whole thing, but like on the ground it's awesome.
It's mint. Yeah, I was in Morion and it was my favorite weekend of the year.
Yeah. So good, I don't know who's going to be the person that can bridge that gap and sell the good vibes that are there back out, because there's no shortage of them. There's nothing wrong with it. I feel like if they did manage to go back to the blueprint of, it's kind of like adventure, discovery, racing. The adventure is going into these new places. Discovery is the new venues and stuff, or the new trails, and going somewhere that you didn't know was set up for mountain biking. And then that together is a marketing strategy, because that's why me and you and everyone wants to go to Madeira or
here, right? Like it was the Enduro that made this place popular for me. Anyway,
and same with Derby. But yeah, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with the discipline of enduro. I think it's just there's a combination of mismanagement and but yeah, if they could just get back to that original blueprint of what made them so successful, I think, because it's not enduro, it's mountain biking. We all do it.
We all do,
So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and
I haven't given up.
Okay.
You've
not walked away from it.
Pardon?
You've not walked away from it completely.
No, so I plan on racing one EDR next year.
Yeah.
Maybe two. Yeah.
Okay.
And if there was a new one, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
You talk about capturing the vibe of it and like sharing that with the audience. And kind of unfortunately, it's what you, Jack, and to some extent Jesse did pretty well.
And like Charlie as well.
Yeah,
like,
Charlie, for sure, yeah. And then you guys kind of stepping away from it. Like, it's going to be interesting to see if anyone can fill that void. Because I think a lot of people would go into you guys for their content from those races.
Yeah, and that is a tricky one. But I mean, it is going to be tough, but when the going gets tough, then maybe things will get going.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I don't really have an answer for like how that's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, it leaves a space, right? There's good characters in the sport still.
Yeah. I think the best thing, and this is kind of rogue, but the best thing the Enduro can do is get away from 3-lettered organisations. Use that as a soundbite.
There we go. Clip, sold, done. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, even if they just find a new one that's 4-lettered, because the 3-lettered ones haven't been going good.
They don't go so well. It started off as 3 letters though, and it was all right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, it went a bit awry along the way. But
yeah. So let's try a 4-lettered one next time.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone will leap into that like vlog space from the riders groups or. Yeah, and create some stuff from the events, because there's going to be room for it without you guys there for sure. Yeah,
and like that's what I mean is like, because I know Jesse's going to go to some races.
Okay.
So yeah, and like it'd be good to try and link up with Jack, because I know he wants to go and do some stuff at some World Cups trackside, and so yeah, just not turning your back completely on it, and it's not because. You know, enduro racing has given me some of the best times of my life. So I'm like, I'm not just going to like desert an old friend when
the going's a bit rough.
Yeah, or when they've said one shit thing about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I've spoken to a lot of riders, and I think every rider still loves it and wants it to succeed. I just think no one really seems to know quite what to do for the best. That's
what I mean. It's like you made a good point with Morion. It's like, it's just like the most insane trails.
It was so good.
Like, I would pay entry fee on entry fee on entry fee to just ride those same trails as they've been raced. Because it's not when you race on trails, they like build differently. They blow out. You know, these insides. The riders like create the lines and stuff. It's the same for downhill. Why like. Racing downhill is different to riding in the bike park. It's because like the tracks adapt and build themselves.
Yeah,
and that's what makes
burn in the perfect lines, basically.
Yeah. Or just and man, Morion was just so good. The one that Paulette built was
stage 6, was it?
Yeah, it's the best. Like we were just messaging everyone in Morsing, like, oh my god, you need to go to Morion and ride this. Here's the pin of where it starts.
But it was epic.
Yeah.
Like, the best trails I rode all last year. Yeah, and some of them best I've ever ridden, probably.
Yeah, we rode them. We rode them on the Monday after the race. Yeah, and that's not often that happens. So, yeah, there's. The flame, the sparks there. It's
how you translate it. It's mad. Like even for the podcast, like we've tried to even up some of the enduro stuff, and we did the bits with Morgan and Greg. But like, we will get less views, listens on enduro based content than we would have done 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I can sort of see, like, because people say, well, the media don't even cover it. But like I can sort of, to an extent, I can see why. Like if you're thinly spread, which everyone is at the minute because there's no money, like why would you cover something you're going to get less views on? So it's almost like this. It's a spiral that's really hard to get out of.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope. Yeah. Because I don't have like an answer until. I just hopefully, and it's almost like it needs to go to rock bottom.
And then bounce back.
And then everyone's like, oh, won't touch that. And then someone comes in and goes, oh, well, because my thing, if you ask me what would I do to like rebound the series right now? It would be identify the 7 best races around the world that are already happening.
Yeah.
Approach them, ask if you can open up 100 extra spots and call it a World Series category. And then call that your World Series, and then like do something cool where like if you race your 5 best results from this World Series get you into like a playoff, and then it goes somewhere like exotic
Okay.
for like 80 riders.
Yeah.
And you can go somewhere that's not set up for like the masses. You only need 100 beds for accommodation.
Yeah.
And I
keep
like
it simple. Yeah.
It would be awesome. You could go like BC or any of these like places and be like, hey, we just need 5 stages. And do some cool stuff like add the Mega Avalanche or the Mountain of Hell as a World Series stop.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Pre-qualify the 100 guys and girls and put them on the start line. Because surely that event would be like, hell yeah, we'll have you.
How sick would that be if the Mega Avalanche, like the front of the Mega Avalanche grid was all of you lot?
Well, it doesn't even need to be, because you still have to go through qualifying.
Yeah.
But if you don't make it through your qualifying, it's like you flattered in a normal enduro.
Yeah.
So you get no points. So, you still have to make it through and get your row.
Yeah.
But let's say you were signed up to be on the you were signed up for the EWS or the EDRs. I just call it EWS because
it's easier.
Old school.
We all refer that way. 5-man podiums, EWS, done.
If you were signed up for the EWS and you came 5th, but you were the highest ranked EWS registered rider, then you get points for first.
Got ya.
Yeah. And it would be epic.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool for everyone there, I think, as well. Like when we had the EWS 100 back in the day as well, it was good. I remember being at Innerleithen and it was just cool. Like there was all of us lot and then all of you guys and everyone was like in the same space and racing the same tracks and it had a good feel. I don't know. I feel like an exotic venue might bring eyes back.
Yeah.
I think like people have sort of let it slide out of what they keep up to date on. And I think a fresh venue somewhere like exciting, people would be like, oh, what's the riding like there? And it might drag them back in and be like, oh, Enduro is still cool.
And like Tourism Tas brought you here because they can see a perceived value in what you're doing, which is like selling a product and they are the product.
Yeah.
And prior to things going a little bit haywire in the enduro realm, all these tourism companies saw a perceived value in what the EWS was offering, which was like selling a product and they were the riding destination. That's the product. And that's like, I think that's where the value lies.
Yeah. And it's clear, like you say, with places like this in Derby, there's case studies that prove that it works, right?
Yeah. So many of them. Finale.
Yeah, true.
Like Finale's like the OG case study because, like, and I might get crucified for saying this, but like Finale, some of the writing's no better than anywhere. Like, I mean, the writing's amazing.
It is great. And but the atmosphere. The
atmosphere.
Vibe of the place,
yeah. But it's just been so well set up. And Finale is kind of built off the backbone or the backboard of enduro racing, and everyone's going like, this is awesome. And then people started going there.
Yeah.
So,
Back to some cool destinations. But I think everyone wants to see it succeed. That's the challenge. It's just none of us quite know what to do to get it there. So it's a tricky one. And
I think like COVID actually had quite a role to play in the demise because 2020 was like set up to be a pretty insane calendar.
Yeah.
And when the pandemic happened and those venues couldn't host their events, and then they didn't go on to host their events. And then we went into like 2-day European Enduros, stuff like that. Yeah, it lost a year that was like building off the back of a great year in 2019, great year in 2018. So like it was kind of like it lost its trajectory going up.
Yeah. And it took a while before we could, like, even 21 season was compromised, I think, from what I remember, on like where you could travel to, and we were still
we were doing like double headers,
sticking sticks up your nose at every round and all that kind of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Seems odd, doesn't it, now to look back at those days?
I know. It was
things we
it
did.
was so bizarre.
Yeah, weird times. But yeah,
But kind of like cool. Like it's almost like looking back, it's like cool to have experienced it. Like, but
I hope no other generation has to experience it because it was shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, unique experience for sure. But I think you're right. It didn't help Enduro. It took all the wind out of its sails, and then everything with like the bike industry started to go Pete Tong at exactly the worst time, right? Like,
yeah,
it's just been a whirlwind. I mean, everyone loves to lay the blame on Warner Brothers for everything, but I'm not sure we can solely blame them for where Enduro is at. There's a lot of factors involved.
Definitely, right? No. There's no, like, you can't pinpoint anything.
No, there's no one thing.
One person,
yeah,
no.
100%.
No, but it's all, yeah. I mean, you and me both would have had this conversation with so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still don't have, like, a decisive answer of, like, what to do.
No. All I know is no one said they want to kill it. I've not spoken to anyone that's like, well, let's just let it go.
Nah.
So that's good.
Yeah. And like downhill, this is a good way to segue into downhill because like downhill seems to be going pretty, like the way, when I'm in the bike park and I'm pedaling my enduro bike up the access road, I'm just seeing so many kids on downhill bikes and friends who, you know, I've loads of friends now who are like, selling downhill bikes and getting motorbikes. They're like mid-30s, so they're like doing that. But like sometime back 2 years ago, it would have been quite hard to sell a downhill bike, and now they're like kind of
hot property again.
Hot property, yeah. Like if you've got one, it seems kind of easy to sell.
Nice.
And then, you know, like I know Pivot's downhill bike's been selling really well. So yeah, there's been like a resurgence.
What do you think's driven that?
Honestly, I think it's the young guys at the top of the sport.
Okay, because we've got youth doing so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And they're having fun. They're like normal dudes.
Yeah, not taking it too seriously.
And I'm talking like Ronan, Jackson, Asa, you know, like they're ripping.
Yeah, they've made success look very easy and a lot of fun in a way. I'm sure it's not, but like they have made it look that way.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like especially like Max Elron. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all of like those guys, Ollie Clark. But a high tide raises all ships, and those guys are like running with the tide. Tyler Waite, John T. Williamson.
Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of Kiwi talent at the minute.
And there's more coming too.
Yeah. Oh, is there? There's a next generation. I was going to ask you about that because
it's pretty hectic.
It feels like every year, like we had the Jackson Jordan year, and everyone was like, "Oh, let's see how they get on an elite." And then Jordan wins the first round, and then Jackson does what Jackson's done, and then you're like, "Oh, well, they're going to dominate for a while." And then you're like, "Oh no, hang on, look at Max and Till and Asa and John T and all this lot and Ollie." Is there another wave of that lot coming behind that are going to raise the bar yet again?
Yeah. There's a young kid from Queenstown, Lewis Laird, Camden Rutherford. He's
on the Nuke Proof.
He's on the Nuke Proof.
Thing, yeah.
Noah Evans, we help him out with pivots. It's pretty hectic. Yeah,
and that's just the
there's
Kiwi
more.
side.
There's more that I would be able to like rattle off. So sorry anyone who's getting missed out here, but like, yeah,
that's cool though, eh? Like, because Kiwi downhill
Joel
was
Burkett, like, man, I'm frothing because I'm like, and I don't really have much to do with them, but definitely would like vouch and like help in any way you can because like those kids have like got everything to take it to the top.
Yeah,
just like and because I didn't really like know how good Tyler and Jonty were. Like Malik Broke, he's on Atherton's this year.
Yeah.
So like just because spend so much time traveling, I'm like when I'm at home, I'm like trying to spend as much time at home. So like hadn't really like chased our nationals for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And then, which is kind of like, I feel kind of bad because you're like, and then you see like, the Tylers and the Jonties, and then, the last guys like would have been like Lockie, who we were like, and then he obviously was like inspired those next kids, and then now they're just like taking the ball and running with it.
Nuts.
Yeah.
next level stuff going on, isn't it? Like, it's mad how fast it seems to be progressing at the moment. Like, the sport's always progressed, but I feel like the last few years, the standard of the juniors in women's and men's is just like,
I'm sure there's some guy who's like a statistician. Yeah. Out there who'll be able to tell you how the like average age of winners is like plummeting at the certain percent.
Where's Elliot Jackson when you need him? He can crunch the numbers for us. But
I think mountain biking has been like one of the last extreme sports to cotton on to the phenomenal young talent, because like I'm a bit of a nerd and follow like heaps of sports, and like especially with like when Olympics are on, like skiing, snowboarding, skateboarding, surfing, all the best extreme sports men and women are like now 17 or 18.
Yeah, or even younger, right?
Yeah.
In some instances.
Yeah. So like, especially if it's like snowboarding or skiing, where you need to be small to like spin faster. But I think being able to watch, having the like tutelage of like people who have done it, and then like the YouTube generation of just, you know, like if you're a young girl or guy watching this and you are going racing World Cups this year, like, and you don't know the track before you arrive there, before even walking it, then I feel like you're like not giving yourself all the information that you should be getting, because you have it. And then you should be watching, you know, like there'll be kids out there who know what a winning run looks like because they've studied Bruni's or Armory's runs. Yeah. And they know, oh, like he went outside here, didn't brake, and like literally didn't touch the brakes into this corner. Sweet, I can do that. It works.
Do you think that that's the reason that the younger generation are doing so well, is the access to information that wasn't there for us older lot? Do you think that's the biggest? I don't
think it's like that. It's maybe not so much the access to information. Like they might not be like consciously studying it to that degree. Okay. But they're definitely subconsciously taking it in by just watching. Yeah. And it's like, I remember when I was like 13 and I heard that someone my age had done a backflip. I'm like, maybe I could do a backflip.
Okay. It made it plausible in your head.
Yeah. Whereas like if someone had said you should do a backflip, oh, I can't do a backflip. And then kid down the street did a backflip. Like,
sick, right, let's go.
Yeah. He's alive. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I guess they've grown up with better kit as well, which helps. I think there's an element of that. Like the bikes, they haven't waited around for good bikes. Like they've been on good bikes from the start.
But it's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Like, yeah.
It's cool if you're not like on the cusp of the top 30. If you're there, then it must be a bit rough at the minute.
Man, like, especially with the, you know, Q1, Q2, what do we got? Till, Asa, Tyler, Ollie, Max.
5. There's at least 5 spots that
there's 5 spots
probably
that
just gone.
Aren't guaranteed to be taken, but they're now up for grabs.
Yeah, there's a good chance. Yeah.
So you could have made every finals last year mid-20s, and now you potentially might not make any finals.
Yep.
Yeah. And those guys want it, and they're confident.
Yeah. Just chatting to some of them on track here today, like on the track walk, they're not phased.
No.
Like they're not bothered.
Yeah. And then they're all trying to catch Jackson and throw some shade on Jackson. Yeah. So it, like that only like gets everyone revved up even more. So
I cannot wait for this season to get started. Like this is a teaser here. We've got some of that battle. But when everyone's together at the first World Cup and a new venue, I literally cannannot wait. I wish it was like next week.
South Korea is going to be sick.
Yeah.
New venue.
Yeah.
Like going to a new market.
From what I hear, they absolutely love it out there, and the crowds are going to be pretty hectic. Yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
You going to go?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to 5 World Cups this year.
Okay. With your Ed Bull Media hat on, like what's taking you there?
Just doing Ed Bull Media stuff, doing some stuff with Conti.
Yeah.
Yeah. and kind of making some trips out of going to those.
Okay.
So yeah, 3 birds, 1 stone type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spending money wisely.
Yeah.
So you're going to do a trip in South Korea?
No, so I'm going to go to Sea Otter, spend a week doing some filming in Santa Cruz, then go to South Korea. My mum and dad are going to go and Wynn's going to go, so we're going to like meet up as a family.
Nice.
My parents are real big on bike touring, so they're spending a month biking around South Korea after the race.
Awesome.
And then I'll come home, so that'll be like a 3-week trip.
Yeah.
Then I'll do like a little Euro trip. Gonna do the Mountain of Hell, Canazay EDR, La Tuile, Andorra, Crankworks home.
Yeah.
And then do the last one, Whistler, Lake Placid, spend a week somewhere. Yeah. So that's like kind of like the 3 trips.
Yeah. So 3 blocks rather than just disappearing to Europe for the whole of the summer kind of thing.
And yeah, so those are like 5 pretty good World Cups to go to. And then, that's like part of the stuff I've agreed on doing, but also at no point is it like I'm being forced to do it. It's like it's stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't signed the contract wincing at like...
No, not at all. It's like, that's where it's cool being able to pick and have the flexibility of like, I've agreed on doing certain things, but get to do the ones that I want to do.
Yeah. Are you going to do any trans races?
I want to try and do the Trans BC.
Yeah.
I did 2 trans races last year.
Did you do Trans Sierra Norte?
Yeah.
What was that like? Because that
awesome.
Always looks... I've seen it from afar a few times and thought it looks like an incredible event.
Man, those races, if anyone's like thinking of doing them, any trans races, it's so awesome. Blind racing. The Trans Sierra Norte one exceeded my expectations massively. I thought it was kind of like a party ride, like pretty chill, but every day we started with like a 15-minute stage from 3,000 meters. We're like not camping, but we're at serious altitude. So it was hard, but the terrain and the trails were insane. Oaxaca's a world-class like venue and awesome place to visit. The after party prize giving was in Puerto Escondido, which is a pretty famous like surf beach. Yeah, that ticked all the boxes and then some.
Yeah.
And even just to go there and do a riding holiday would be awesome. It's like you can fly into Oaxaca. It's quite a big town.
Yeah.
I was pretty blown away, and then I did one in Washington called Transcascadia.
Yeah.
Which I'd heard about from the Santa Cruz guys, like Rat Boy and stuff went and did it, and they told me some pretty legendary stories. So they brought it back for their 10-year anniversary, and I was pretty keen to go. And that was same thing, just like so good. Bombing the thing about the Transcascadia one, which I loved, was like the stages were really fast. And so that even though you're riding blind, you felt like you were really racing because you were going so quick. The average speed was really high.
Yeah.
And then just the logistics, like the food and we were in tents where they had like a big shower block. They had a cocktail bar that opened after every like day. A cafe or like a barista in the mornings. Like the food was insane. Yeah,
you're being looked after for the week, basically. Riding sick trails and getting looked after.
Yeah, so like the way I describe it is like there's probably a third of the people are there to the race, a third of the people don't really know which side of the coin they are, if they're racing or riding, and a third are just to ride.
Yeah.
But the best thing about it is that it's kind of like you're going on a holiday, but you and your mates don't have to organise any of the trails that you don't have to argue about or map out a route. It's all mapped out for you. So like loads of people are just riding. And then because the racing goes for like 5 days, and we were racing at about, or like averaging about 30 minutes a day of race time. After 2 days, you're not like really going to come from behind and win the race, or if you're in second, you're probably not going to drop back to third. It's it settles into its...
Yeah, the pressure's a bit...
Yeah, so
lower,
like
maybe.
a lot of the time we were just taking turns and doing some like trains, and it was, and you meet like the coolest people. So I like try and make an effort to just, like fully integrate with the group.
Yeah. That was the best bit of Stone King Rally for me, was the people. Because I was there on my own, like doing it for work.
Same, and like I went there,
wicked.
Apart from knowing like Marco Osborne and a few others, out of 120 people, I probably would know like 3 or 4. So yeah, not trying to be all cool and like do like, like hang out with my mates. And you're like, sweet, I'm going to kind of need to make some new ones. yeah.
But that's cool, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Always good people. Like, everyone's there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Yeah. We got a new trans race in Scotland, Trans Caledonia, hitting up for the first time this year. So that'd be interesting to see how that goes.
And I'm doing one in New Zealand as well called the NZMTB Rally.
Yeah.
Which is all around Nelson. I was meant to do it last year, but I had crashed and hurt myself.
Is that the one that Fairbrother rode unassisted? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And beat everybody.
yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. Did you see his latest one riding around the McDonald's car park?
Where do you dream that up? The guy's insane. Fair play.
Yeah. He goes after the Type 2 for sure.
I can understand a lot of what he does, but the McDonald's one could not compute why he'd want to do that.
I think he just likes challenging the mental side as well as the physical. Like, I guess for him, that's not that bad on the physical, but
psychologically damaging, sure.
Hitting all the speed bumps
every lap. How many laps did he do? It must have been something ridiculous number.
Yeah, and then last year on New Year's Day as well, which is he was trying to do 24 hours around a roundabout, which he didn't make a video about or anything, but he it messed with his like balance, his inner ear,
because he's just constantly cornering for 24 hours.
And he had, I think I wouldn't want to be quoted, but I don't know if he might have gone to hospital because he like his balance really got messed up. So he had to pull pin after 425 Ks going around the roundabout. And the roundabout had a meter vertical gain. So he did like 4,800 meters climbing on a roundabout.
Oh my God. What a nutter.
Yeah.
I love it that we've got people like that in the sport that just do that kind of stuff because they can. Yeah.
And it's hard, like, when he was riding between all the races, I was like, at what point do you, like, where do you draw the line on, like, one-upping things? But he hasn't really, like, needed to one-up it. He's just been going on doing these random ones.
He's found unique ways to do it.
Yeah, which still people were really interested in.
Yeah, because I was a bit worried for, like, people like him and Hildred's sanity if they keep upping. Because, like, at some point, you've got to get to a point where upping it's getting dangerous. But
Ben Hildred especially. Yeah.
Like, we had that film.
The 100 Days thing.
Yeah. Unreal.
And it... When you go to Queenstown, you'll be able to like ride up to the saddle. I'd do it on an e-bike if I were you, but it'll really put it into perspective, like how grueling that climb is, and then to do it 3 times a day for 100 days,
whatever
rain,
the
hail,
weather,
shine,
and work.
Yeah, and work. yeah. And still be nice. Because he's like the nicest guy. He's like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
The most lovely dude. And to be able to maintain that is saying something about having a pretty positive outlook and good personality.
He's doing well to manage that for sure. Yeah, I'm going to catch up with him while I'm out there, hopefully. So that'd be good.
He's got a crazy story. Ask him about all his BMX stuff and because he's not just...
there's a backstory, eh?
Yeah, it's cool.
He's done quite a bit. Yeah,
he's done heaps more than you yeah, really interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm off to Queenstown after this, which I'm excited for. I've been with a bike. It was just like a holiday last time. Where should I be heading? Where should I hit? Coronet Peak, I hear, is
Coronet Peak, Cadrona, world class. Yeah. Yeah, obviously Skyline. Like, we are really spoiled. Yeah, those are 3 like insane lift access bike parks.
Yeah.
And then if you are going to go up Coronet Peak, like, either get the shuttle up from the bottom and park at the bottom.
Yeah.
Pay the $10, because then if you ride the lift on your last run, you can do a top to bottom.
Ah, nice. Okay.
Yeah, which is like a 1,200 meter descent on pretty insane trails.
Fair dues.
Yeah. So
the lift runs from like a midpoint.
it runs from like the upper third.
Yeah, okay. Like Peeler kind of thing.
Yeah.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they offer a pickup at the bottom, which is $10 well spent.
Yeah. I can handle $10 for an extra descent.
Yeah. And they do like a cheap pass on a Wednesday and Friday nights.
Yeah.
So like, it's good value, especially if you're coming with pounds.
Yeah. Nothing goes far in Queenstown these days, does it?
But the New Zealand dollar is pretty weak at the moment. So you guys will be like,
we'll do all right.
Yeah.
Can handle it.
But yeah, and then just if you can get any of the locals to take you on some of the more like the off map stuff.
Yeah.
We're just, there's been like an influx of like grade or like, Burmese jump trails.
Yeah. Okay.
And I feel like a lot of the locals have kind of like countered that by building some pretty like raw and gnarly trails.
Okay. Yeah. They've rebelled.
Yeah. Not so rebelled, but it's just like, it's awesome.
Nice. Yeah. I saw you share some pretty good looking steep lomas before you left.
Yeah. And then like, I don't ride, I still ride my pedal bike heaps just because I like being fit.
Yeah.
But having an e-bike just means you can access all that stuff, and you can access stuff that you would push up, or you would just fully ride yourself into the ground doing a few laps. So yeah, you can really get good value for money out of renting or just like borrowing an e-bike.
Yeah, I'm on it. The logistics have been dialed. E-bike is accessible, so yeah, we should be all good.
Yeah, very lucky to have such like variety and just amazing trails and just like people.
Yeah, and the community. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. There's so many people there that have either based themselves there or
and if it's a nice night, definitely go down to Gorge and just watch the dirt jumps.
People sessioning most nights down there. Yeah, I saw them when I went through town last time I was there. Yeah. I was like, that's a pretty cool spot. Yeah. I thought they were getting knocked down at some point.
They were, and then our saviour Rod Drury came in last minute. Yeah, so shout out Rod. Yeah. Came in and managed to broker some kind of deal with the council. So Gorge is still a pretty like important part of the community. Way better than bus parking.
Is that what it was going to be?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't knock down those trails for a bus park. Yeah, for sure.
Same with like Dream. If you can get up there on a Wednesday night, there's always people riding them.
I definitely cannot ride it, but I'd like to see some people ride it.
But there's a really cool like small jump trail that goes next to it called McNeely Gnarly.
Okay.
And that literally has a sweeping berm that goes 3 meters from where the jumps go past.
Nice. Okay.
So you can like pull over, watch, and then carry on a ride.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cheers for the tips.
Yeah.
Tell us about the pivot team for 2026, because there's some changes there, right?
Yeah, it's actually like, it's quite exciting. Kind of a fresh start. Very cool to secure Dylan Maples.
That's a big signing, eh? Like that guy's got a lot of potential.
And I'd never really hung out with him, and like only briefly got to hang out with him but for the last few days in Queenstown, but he's really like gelled with the crew.
Yeah.
Pretty well. And then bringing Roger on full time, Bernie, Jenna, and then kind of revamping it with the mechanics and stuff. It's quite cool because it's hard for like Bernard as well, because we've always been such good friends, me, him, Matt, I think he was like, oh, like it's like kind of like all ending.
Yeah, the end of the band's not together anymore.
And then I think he was kind of like worried that it like might not like be fun or whatever. But then they've spent the last 5 or 6 weeks kind of really gelling as a group, and I think it's really like come up trumps, which is pretty cool. Because I know like he would have been like a little bit worried about it, or just like, is this still going to be fun?
Yeah, is it going to be the same? Because it was quite a unique team.
Yeah,
like you were different in many ways to a lot of the paddock, right?
Yeah, and yeah, it's cool because like bringing on new mechanics and stuff, and then obviously bringing on new riders, they're going to like behave differently or want different things, but like not kind of having that OG framework makes it a lot easier to like change and adapt and like bring on the new PFR.
Version 2.0.
Yeah. So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Obviously like they, as a team, they're going into like the most competitive year with all just the people that they're racing against.
Yeah.
But as a group, they've got like all the tools and stuff they need to like succeed. And I think, downhill's such a fickle mental game, but if we can just get going to start with, then you can really, hit your straps.
Yeah. It'd be good to see how Roger gets on, because it was a last minute drafting, wasn't it, last year? Whereas now he's had a whole off season. He knows he's got that deal locked in.
Yeah.
He's got time to prep and get ready. And
he's got a bit of swagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a different confidence.
He's got like that air of confidence, and it's cool.
Yeah. He had some, he was telling me he posted a POV, I think it was from Hardline Wales, that got picked up in Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
And got 200 million views or something.
Yeah.
Overnight, he got 10,000 Instagram followers. He went to bed and it went up, and the number went up 10,000 overnight. He's had some real standout with the Cerro Bajo win and all of that. He's really started to cement
the Brazilians are fanatical.
Yeah, they get into it.
Yeah. Just like Brazilian flag.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Yeah. Excited. And Dylan, I think, definitely is a very capable rider. So
yeah, and it's cool for a brand like Pivot to have an American where we've pretty much been like Bernard and a bunch of Kiwis.
Yeah, true.
Which isn't a bad thing, but I think it's really cool for an American brand to have an American rider.
Yeah.
So frothing to see what Dylan can do.
Yeah.
He's got big muscles, so
he's a unit. I saw a picture of him the other day with his top off, and I was like, all right, fair enough. Yeah.
Get the guns out.
Nice. Yeah, talking about American brands with American riders, frameworks with Aaron and Aceron is going to be pretty interesting this year.
I was actually just sitting down with Nico before, and I said, dude, because I'm like a bit of a fan, and I'm, I don't mind going into the Vital forums and seeing what's going on. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Anything that takes the heat off Pivot Factory Racing is good. But yeah, I was saying how cool it is, the buzz around what Nico's done, and I was just, I said, dude, like honestly, props on building that program and like where you've come, and like he said, yeah, it's crazy in 4 years, and that was like surprising to me, because it seems it's such a short space of time that he's done that. And then I said it's really cool having like someone like Aaron to join that program. If they'd got Dak as well, the internet would have been broken.
It would have blown up the internet for sure if they had that full American crew there. I sort of thought maybe it would happen, but not quite. Nearly there.
But yeah, it's so awesome. And then just like Nico's the man, Ace is like, they're running a serious program now, having Anna Newkirk, Asa and Aaron. That's a solid team.
Yeah, it's an incredible team, to be fair.
Yeah,
flying the USA.
So you're hard pressed to say they're not like one of my favorites, just from the people that are on it and like the whole story behind it.
Yeah, you can't not.
They're like the little man sucking it to the big dogs.
Yeah, and they do a lot with a little, right?
Yeah,
and the fact that Nico can seem to just turn things are at, like, oh, we haven't got a massive pit, and then turn up with a big Foxtrot the next year. You're like, all right, well, that's that one solved. Yeah, insane stuff.
Yeah.
Really cool. Are there other team moves or changes or rider moves that you're like excited to see how they pan out?
Stoked to see Ollie Clark. You know, I reckon his first year at junior was like, he didn't really get to show his potential, and then I was like pretty proud of him to see him turn it around.
Yeah.
And go from what was a pretty trying year, which a lot of people would have been like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, a lot of doubt. Because it's pretty hard when you're young as well.
Yeah.
To turn it around and then win a World Cup and be one of the fastest guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty stoked to see him land that Mondraker deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colby on Santa Cruz, I think, is an interesting one.
Yeah, Colby on Santa Cruz.
Wow.
Colby's just the man.
Yeah.
Who else?
Well, big move for Valley, right? I think that's going to be kind of interesting.
But she's so good.
Well, yeah, and she's not. I'm pretty sure the bike she's moved on to is also pretty good.
Yeah, and if it wasn't good for her, I'm sure Max Commensal will make it good for her, because he likes winning races, and he's got a race winner.
He does,
in Valley Hole.
There'll be a lot of pressure, I would imagine. But I guess she's probably putting that pressure on herself anyway. She wants to win so badly that.
Yeah,
sure
you can see it in her eyes when she loses. She's pissed off.
Oh yeah, she wasn't happy for a lot of last season. You could see it, which is cool in a way, because it's like she's had such success so young that the fact that she still really wants it is, I've got a lot of respect for that. I think it's cool.
I'm interested to see how Dak goes on the Scott. But I feel like he will go well, because I think it was just like that figuring out period, and it's like sometimes you need. So it's like Benoit had to do it.
Benoit's done the work.
And
it's like, and Ethan as well, I guess. But
so like now they've kind of got it to a place, and then maybe Dak will come in and he's just like on the platform that's like the right one.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they learned a lot last year, because it's a 6-bar, right? So there's a huge amount of adjustability built in, I guess.
Yeah, and Benoit did start getting back to his like usual kind of like speed.
He had a lot of unfortunate mistakes as well, right? There was things that just kept going wrong for him. It wasn't necessarily that he wasn't on a good pace some of the time.
No.
It was just shit happened.
Yeah, it's going to be cool though.
Yeah, Eddie Hall's the boss moving up into elite. That's going to be interesting to see. Like, not many. I think she's the only junior female going up this year. So that's the only one that's making that move, but...
I guess Rosa and that aren't.
No, they've got another year.
Lucky for the other elites.
Rosa's phenomenal to watch on a bike, eh?
Yeah.
Like there's a bit of that almost like Rat Boy, Lucas Shaw-esque ease in her riding that is... It's rare to see across the field, and she makes it look very calm a lot of the time.
Yeah. One thing I would just love to see is Lucas Shaw get his dub. Just,
Yeah, he's big been fan. So close so many times.
Big fan, and he's just such a good dude.
It'd be interesting to see how he goes here, actually.
Yeah.
Because this course there's a lot of speed generation in parts, right? Which is very
he's
good
so
at.
good at it. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of excitement going into the A1 of mountain biking.
There is. There is. Yeah. Cannot wait, mate. Well, it's been a lot of fun catching up. I assume we've got plenty of Ed Bull stuff coming at us this year.
Yeah. Yep.
Similar vein, like a lot of trackside stuff and
trackside stuff. A bit of everything, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mixing it up a bit more.
Keen to throw a few darts at the dartboard and see what hits.
Okay.
So we'll see. But you can definitely go to the Ed Bull channel. You never know what you're going to get, but you'll get something.
You'll get some entertainment for sure. Nice one, mate. Well, it's been a lot of fun catching up. I'm excited to see what the lane change looks like for you.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure you'll be having
there
fun.
Won't be any indicating. Just like fast lane,
out.
slow lane.
Could be anywhere at any
Fender
time.
bender. Yeah,
good
easy,
stuff, mate.
No, thanks, dude.
Have a good year, and like you say, we'll catch up at the end of the year and find out if you had the success you were hoping for.
Sweet.
Nice one.
Cheers.
Cheers, Ed.